Errol Spence Jr. successfully retains his IBF world title with a 7th round TKO over Lamont Peterson. This was a very entertaining fight. First of all, I'd just like to give credit out to Lamont Peterson's trainer, who actually had the compassion to pull him out at that point in the fight. He gave him one round. After the 6th round, they had a discussion in the corner where Lamont Peterson said that you know me, B. So basically, he was saying obviously a trainer's relationship with a fighter's relationship with a trainer is very close, and he gave him the compassion to give him one more round just to see if he can see it out. But obviously, Errol Spence Jr. was just too much for Lamont Peterson at that moment in time. Errol Spence really impressed me with this fight. Lamont Peterson is a decent top fighter. I wouldn't say he's an elite fighter, but he's a top fighter. He's given a lot of fighters a lot of problems. Obviously, he gave Danny Garcia hell, and a lot of people thought that he won that fight. He drew against Victor Ortiz. Obviously, Victor Ortiz isn't regarded as much, but he's still up there. At one point, he was actually up there. And also, Lamont Peterson gave Amir Khan a very good fight. He pressured him quite a lot, and he gave him a very game fight. So obviously, Errol Spence successfully just dissected him, just totally tore him up to the body. He connected with loads of uppercuts, and you could just tell like Lamont Peterson looked massive in there in terms of his back muscles and all of that, but Errol Spence Jr. was the bigger guy in that particular fight. So, in my opinion, it was a very impressive fight. He wore him down to the body quite early. So, like from the beginning round, he was shooting that straight left down to the body and just opened him up and just successfully just tore him downstairs. He opened up and hit upstairs as well with uppercuts, and obviously connected with his southpaw jab quite a few times in the fight. It was he very methodically dissected him and totally tore him to pieces with his shots. In terms of where I think Errol Spence can go from here, obviously I feel like the sky's the limit for this kid. I feel like the only person I can see tangibly beating him in my mind is probably Terence Crawford, but I'm basing that off Terence Crawford's performances in the 140 division. You just don't know if he's going to perform the same in the 147 division. Obviously, we need to see him against a fighter like obviously Jeff Horn or someone like that. But generally speaking, I think Keith Thurman will get torn to pieces by Errol Spence. I feel like obviously Errol Spencer focuses specifically on the body, and Keith Thurman in fights against Robert Guerrero and Luis Collazo did seem to get hurt against the body. So obviously a fighter with the level of focus I've not seen that many fighters that are not outside of Mexicans that focus so specifically on the body. He likes to methodically break his fighters down quite specifically to the body, and he's very effective to the body. He sort of reminds me of Bernard Hopkins, the way he goes down to the body, the way he tries to set up body shots early on in the fight. He's very methodical and tactical in the way that he breaks down his opponents. During the 6th round, obviously when he knew that he had the fight in the bag, Errol Spence started showing different dimensions to his game. So he started almost dancing towards Lamont Peterson. So he would change his footwork, and he'd show like different dynamics to his game by showing head movement and such. So I feel like in a weird way we've not even seen the full extent of Errol Spence's potential yet. I feel like he probably has the ability to box, but obviously in these fights so far he's never had to actually bring that element to his game out yet. So it's going to be very exciting seeing him actually build his career and seeing how far he can actually go. But at this moment in time, there's quite a few exciting fights on. If you do compare like obviously Errol Spence's performance against Lamont Peterson with a genuine puncher like Lucas Matisse. Lucas Matisse destroyed him after 3 rounds, and Lamont Peterson showed more elements to his game when he fought Lucas Matisse than when he fought Errol Spence. Like obviously when he first fought the first 2 rounds of when he fought Lucas Matisse, he was actually fighting on the back foot. But then eventually, when he saw Lucas Matisse catch up with him, he decided to go on to the inside. In this fight, he did try to get out of his shell a little bit, and he did buzz Errol Spence a few times. But generally speaking, he was just in survival mode. He had his guard up, and he was just getting punished to the body, and just You can see towards the end of the sixth round, his eyes was busted up and his eye was swollen. So if you do compare Errol Spence's performance against against Lamont Peterson with Lucas Matisse, you could easily say that from that perspective, Errol Spence isn't an out and out puncher. He's not dynamic enough to be a puncher. He does hit tremendously hard, and he's more thudding, but he's more methodical than a puncher. He likes to grind his opponent down with pressure, and he likes to break them down over a sustained period of time, as opposed to just knocking them out with a single shot, or knocking them out with an accumulation of power punches, like say a Lucas Matisse or Pacquiao. So yeah, that's my opinion of the kid. I feel like he's also very mentally mature for a fighter of his stature. Um, he seems very focused on just boxing. He doesn't care about anything else, like the celebrity aspect of boxing. He's not like an Adrian Broner who has other distractions outside of the ring in terms of being a rapper, being a party promoter, being a porn star, or anything stupid like that. He just focuses on what he has to do in the ring, and that's just his main focus. And he seems to live just to fight. So I feel like he could be a throwback fighter. He could be one of them fighters that he genuinely doesn't care about like the glitz and glamour of the sport. He's just a blue collar, hard working um, type fighter who just wants to keep his head down and just focus on his craft. So obviously, in terms of marketability, I think he's got a long way to go in terms of being a marketable star in boxing. I feel like in terms of like an American superstar, the probably the closest we have to that is probably like a Terence Crawford, in the sense that he does have like his hometown of Omaha behind him, but with Errol Spence, he's got a long way to go in terms of like building his marketability and obviously having like the massive money fight. But then again, he could be like one of the fighters like Andre Ward, who within boxing circles is very respected, but outside of boxing circles, he never makes a splash on a mainstream scene. So he's never seen as like a genuine out and out superstar in the sport of boxing, like for example Floyd Mayweather or Pacquiao. He's just one of them dudes that just keeps his head down, keeps within the sport, and is just an industry legend where basically everyone within the industry respects him, but generally people outside of the industry don't really know much about him. So I'm very interested to see where he actually goes with his career. So it's going to be fun watching him go. I've recently just seen a tweet from him where he said he's going to announce another fight date soon. So he's going to announce another opponent that he's going to fight soon. So I think it's good that he's keeping busy. And Errol Spence, obviously last year he only fought once against Kell Brook, but I feel like Errol Spence is one of them fighters that he's young, so you just keep him busy, just keep him fighting, constantly ticking over, constantly training, constantly having training camps after training camps, constantly fighting. Even if it's not against some high level opposition, just keep yourself busy, constantly fighting. Don't ever have any layoffs or have any time period where you're not fighting. Just focus on your craft and do what you need to do. So that's my 2 cents on the issue. So yeah, just subscribe to this channel if you want more content, and I've got a lot more coming your way. Thank you. Peace out.